think I can re-record that, but I'm gonna try that again. Heya! Nailed it! Okay, let's go on with the video, shall we? Heya! Yeah, today on my own. Welcome back to a different type of video. It's your gal, Bella Days, and today, my friends, we are going to be discussing the lore of Welcome to Dreamworld. And you're probably wondering to yourself, Bella, what the heck is this? What's Welcome to Dreamworld? I've never seen this on my feed before. I'm glad you asked, my dear viewer, because I'm going to introduce the entirety of Welcome to Dreamworld through this little timeline video. Confused? Great, let's go. Welcome to Dreamworld is an analog horror web series by the content creator known as Rainbott'a. And they are an amazing creator, by the way. I love their work. And, well, Welcome to Dreamworld being an analog horror, it has its lore out of order. So what does this mean about this little lore video? It has at least 13 episodes, but it has also little mini episodes that connect with the main story. But also a ARG experience, which I definitely recommend you check out. You don't need to know the ARG experience to know this video because I'm doing this video. They also have a website, an ARG website with extra information. Also, thank you to the wiki! I love you! I would have not made this script or the video without y'all. This video was a pain in the ass to record anyway. Let's get on to what we do and don't know. I'm just gonna bring my notes over here because A, they're useful, and B, I really want them, and because I tend to ramble. It makes it a lot easier for me, and you, as the viewer listening and watching this currently, to go along with, so let's have a good time. Given what we know about Welcome to Dreamworld, the lore, the analog horror ARG, and everything else related to it before its second season drops, here's at least most of what we know without giving too many major spoilers, because a lot of this I do recommend y'all try to watch for yourselves, and hopefully reach the same conclusions that I did, because holy shit, this was a lot to go through. I really commend Rainbott'a for making something so wonderfully complex. It was a lot of fun, really, it truly was, and I had a lot of fun going through it myself, so here we go. The story of Welcome to Dreamworld doesn't start until the 1800s, at least with a very certain antagonist, Litho. Litho was originally not the way he's portrayed in the Welcome to Dreamworld universe as this demonic-like entity. No, he was originally human. At least he was. As Edmund Administer? I can't pronounce his last name, I'm just gonna call him Edmund. Edmund was someone who was extremely ambitious, as he was prideful. But that pride was extremely dangerous. And oh boy, did that pride cost him a lot. Just like the founders of the Welcome to Dreamworld entertainment facility, Edmund was an inventor. As the Wikipedia states, Edmund wanted to create something surprising that would just shock the entire world. But when he was denied of that certain knowledge, he started carving his own path to achieve this knowledge and became downright vengeful because of it. And this self-destruction became the driving force of why he became Litho. But there is another reason of why this happened and why things from the past ended up in the present and are viewed by our protagonist now. Edmund once lived in a desolate future where the world has turned into nothing but a wasteland with his brother Agnes. The two brothers would always go to scrapyards, trying to find anything their hands could get on and resell it at any market that they could find just so they could live another day. One fateful day, he met a peculiar traveler, one by the name of Xavier. Edmund recognized that Xavier was inhuman, and Xavier told him that he was traveling between worlds. Demonstrated by his ability to create gateways between worlds, and hungry to learn more, Xavier gave him the information about essence. And this is very, very important, so keep it in the back of your mind. Essence, or soul energy as the series dubs it, is the way things can be brought back to life. It's basically your mind and soul are two separate things. Essence is basically your soul, and it's what makes you, you. And with essence, anything, and I mean anything, can be brought to life in a lifelike manner, including animatronics. Like any other inventor or creator, Edmund was truly excited. He was ecstatic about this revelation, that he could use the essence of soul energy to make things that he wanted to create be more lifelike, to be alive. But Xavier warned against it. He didn't want this power to be used in the wrong hands. But unfortunately, Xavier had already entrusted this very, very dangerous information to the wrong person. It was only a matter of time before everything went out of hand. Despite all of Xavier's warnings, Edmund still went through with trying to experiment and find ways to use soul energy. Hell, he even let his brother Agnes join him, despite not telling him everything he had done or planned to do with this newfound information with soul energy. Edmund's plan was to create a gateway to other worlds, a gateway to the spirit realm, a gateway for immortality. Once Agnes had found out what his brother's true plans were, it had already been too late. There was already blood on Edmund's hands, and the two got into a horrific fight because of this. During the fight, Edmund accidentally shoved both his brother and himself into the gateway, unknowing of what it would do to both of them. This, unfortunately, shattered Agnes's soul and left Edmund stranded in a different time period altogether. Instead of taking Edmund to, Xavier's original dimension, or wherever he actually came from, Edmund found himself in Ohio in the 1800s. Somehow, and he didn't exactly know how, he managed to bring some equipment with him, including an old film camera. Using the only fragment of his brother's soul that he had, he bounded it to this camera, later using this same fragment for an entity known as the Collector. Its purpose? Well, that was to harvest soul energy, of course. He wasn't going to stop his experiments. No, not now. He'd already gone too far to stop. But in this timeline, this new life, he needed a new name. And he chose Litho. Over countless centuries, Litho had had many puppets. An influential family, a child, a family man. The list went on and on. But it was never enough. No, he needed to achieve his goal of immortality. It was all in the pursuit of immortality, to achieve immortality within death itself. Eventually, he would stumble upon a new puppet. One in the form of Sara Covetman. Sara was a very troubled individual. Coming from a less wealthy side of the town, she had been bullied relentlessly by the other children. One day, they chased her to a forest. She ran and ran. She didn't know where she was going. She was running until she was sore. But eventually, they cornered her. She was trapped. It was between her and a cliff. But eventually, she made the hardest decision of her life. She shoved one of the bullies off the cliff, unaware of its height. This would be a fatal fall. Eventually, she did the same to the other two bullies and ran for safety. They would never connect her with the crime or the murders, and this would haunt her waking hours for the rest of her life.
Is the camera on? Is it... yes, it's on. Okay, alright, hello, me. It's Lewis.
Fast forward many years, and Sara would meet a young boy, one by the name of Lewis Bright. To some, he was absolutely stern, but to others, he was an absolute genius. Lewis had a knack for visual design. Not only that, he had a knack for creating worlds that you could totally immerse yourself in. And this aspect of Lewis caught Sara's eye. Since then, the two became very close friends. Later in their academic life, they met Oliver Acrimony. Oliver was very talented when it came to coding, but he was also very talented when it came to robotics. Their engineering teacher, Eric Gale, noted both of their talents and their strengths. Ever since that day, the three were inseparable, later becoming the founders of Dreamworld Entertainment itself. But despite all their achievements, all the goals they reached, tragedy would inevitably find its way back in. Unbeknownst to Sara, Litho had already attached himself to her. This influence that he had was felt throughout all of her childhood. At some point, Litho had a very ingenious idea. Litho would create his own company and become the director of it. In this way, he can make sure he can keep a watchful eye on his little puppet. This company would be called Watchful Eye Toys. Watchful Eye Toys would soon construct the very foundation that Dreamworld Entertainment stands on. It's also the very same prize that Sara, Lewis, and Oliver win as a prize in a statewide robotics competition. Before Dreamworld Entertainment could open to the public, Sara had teamed up with a very specific animatronic. At least, one that was possessed, and one very, very loyal to Litho. His name, well, at least the real one, wasn't known, but the name he had, via the animatronic he had possessed, was Winnie the Pegasus. Now working together, Winnie and Sara would both collaborate in trying to achieve immortality for Litho. But little did he know that his little puppet would not want to play much longer. The more this dreadful experiment Litho had been carrying out for centuries played on, the more Sara had distanced herself from her friends, the same friends that were becoming extremely concerned for her. Eventually, Lewis decided to confront Sara about this, as he was the most concerned about her, having known her the longest.
Oliver, please excuse us for a moment. I'll deal with you later. Lewis and I need to have a little chat. Alone.
Okay. Just, I'll be in my office.
Lewis, I think you'll find that my plans will be very beneficial for everyone.
I'm afraid that I disagree. Sara... Look, we've been friends since middle school. You know that I want this facility to be a success. It's been our dream for years. But whoever you've been talking to is clearly a terrible influence. You haven't been yourself. Please, let us help you. Let me help you.
How about a compromise? I'll continue my plans, but it will be under the facade of this facility. Nobody would really suspect a theme park to be responsible for any disappearances that are caused by my experiments.
Your what?
Lewis, haven't you always dreamed of running a successful business like this one? You wanted to be remembered. You wanted to be famous. This will be funny, really, and why would you be upset? Didn't you say that you always wanted to be a star?
Lewis's heart was in the right place, but the timing was absolutely horrific. Had it been a different time, or had things gone differently, perhaps none of this would have happened. Instead, Lewis became one of the first of many disappearances linked with Dreamworld Entertainment and one of the very first successful experiments with Essence, becoming the animatronic known as Starlight. Other animatronics would follow. Eric Gale, their old engineering teacher, now co-worker, becoming ribbon dancer after a fire. Mike, an employee at Dreamworld Entertainment, getting crushed in a trash compactor and becoming Rex. John, James, and Jake, 3 young lost kids trying to find their way out of the building, getting killed by Winnie. Carly Gale, just trying to find her dad, getting caught by Winnie and becoming Cheer. Alyssa, it's not exactly known how Alyssa died, though we do know she was an employee at Dreamworld Entertainment. Though my personal theory is that Alyssa drowned. But we do know that she became Glory. Liz and Ben, Acrimony, the siblings of Oliver Acrimony, became Lolly and Pop. The very last murders and disappearances linked with Dreamworld Entertainment, though technically they weren't dead. Because their souls were ripped from their bodies and placed into the animatronic hosts, they weren't dead. They were still alive, just stuck in a stasis-like state. Their bodies were hidden in a lab deep within Dreamworld Entertainment, waiting to be found, waiting for someone to set them free. This key to freedom would come in the form of Wyatt Nicholson, the new employee of Dreamworld Entertainment, and someone investigating what had happened to those he cared about. Specifically, Wyatt was investigating the disappearance of Lewis Bright. Oh my goodness, that was a lot to cover, eh? But I did it! It was really stressful and took a couple of recordings and re-recordings, but hey, I finally did it! There is so many things I could cover and keep going on about, like the building collapse, or the virus that Oliver created and sent out as a last-ditch effort of trying to get Sara, or Litho's main plan, and more about Watchful Eye Toys, and hell, even the two silly little goobers at Watchful Eye Toys with their own side story. I could go on for days. However, I feel like a main takeaway we should take from this story is the themes that Welcome to Dreamworld presents to us. Welcome to Dreamworld has themes of life, it has themes of death, loneliness, depression, identity, how inventions and innovation can go out of control, but also, like, general feelings about humanity and just how they can be, because sometimes human beings can suck, and that is very true. But humans can also be wonderful, wonderful creatures and wonderful people. Allison and Litho have two perspectives that are two sides of the same coin. There's also the horrifying situation of having your soul literally ripped out of your chest and placed into a metal body, like Lewis and every other animatronic character within this little cast. That theme of identity is pretty heavy when it comes to the animatronics specifically. Are they still the same person they were before being turned into the animatronic they are now? Or have they lost themselves? Despite being a horror ARG, Welcome to Dreamworld has probably one of the most down-to-earth stories I've seen in quite a while. I mean, despite all its supernatural themes and its horror elements and all its jump scares, Welcome to Dreamworld and its cast of characters have this sense of togetherness. It's about relationships, it's about love, loss, death, and life. And I really love that about it. So, thank you for watching my little analysis of the entire timeline of the Welcome to Dreamworld universe. Is this perfect? God, no. Are there some things that we don't fully know? Like, when Welcome to Dreamworld takes place? My theory has always been it's like late 2020s, like maybe 2023 at the latest. How Wyatt and Lewis met, because that's sure a story I really want to know, because I really want to know it. I bet it's adorable. And just later stuff for, like, Season 2, like, how will everything else play out? How will Wyatt achieve the goals he set out to do? I'm really curious to know, and I'm excited for it. I know my little timeline isn't perfect by any means, but I had a lot of fun making it. I learned so much just by making this type of video, and I don't regret it at all. Thank you, Rainbot, for, well, letting me make this little timeline video. It was a pleasure. And I hope whatever the next episode of Welcome to Dreamworld has in store for us, oh boy, it's gonna be a roller coaster. Everyone prepare your tissues, we're not ready! The angst train stops for no one! You're gonna profit off our tears at this point! God damn it! Anyway, thanks for watching. Please click like and subscribe, and go subscribe to Rainbot, watch Welcome to Dreamworld, do the ARG experience, have fun with your friends, and don't die tonight, because I'm pretty sure Dreamworld Entertainment's gonna be sending someone to my door. Okay, this is Bella Days, signing out. Bye!